start the video? Okay, we are at an airplane hangar in Mansfield, and we are exploring the planes. Okay, so this is Randy.
Hi.
You can check out his YouTube channel in the description, but I will put your YouTube channel in the description. So
Thank you.
Yep, it's gonna be on my modeling Instagram. So
Okay.
so it'll be in the description.
If you tag it, I'll find it.
Yep. All right, so let's get over there. Okay, we're over at the plane. Look, it's an awesome plane. How old is it?
It's 55 years old.
Okay, 55, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yep, it's a 1967 Piper Cherokee. And just like Gale's, the rest of the wing is pretty delicate. You can't put any weight on it, but right here there's extra ribs because this is how you get in and out.
Yeah. Can we get in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright,
So there's a handle there, there's a step there.
Alright. That sounded like not good. It sounded like it was gonna break.
Fine. Nope.
Okay. Oh, there's a tablet in here. Alright, so I'm in the plane right now. It looks really cool. These are all of the controls. And this is what a yoke?
This is a yoke,
Yeah.
Y-O-K-E.
Okay.
So pull it back, the plane goes up.
Pull it this
Push
way.
it in, the plane goes down.
And then it goes this way.
And then it goes
Which like
right.
messes with the wing over there.
You can see, yep, that's the aileron. That
Sweet.
aileron over there will go up, and the aileron on this side goes down.
Yeah. Wait, can you move it
At
again?
the same time. Yep.
That's how you control the wing. That's how it moves around.
Out the window here and look at the back. Look at the.
Oh, that's
See that?
cool.
So when you pull back, the air pushes the back of the plane down, which makes the nose go up,
Yeah. Oh, that's
and
cool.
vice versa.
That like hurt. I twisted around.
Oh.
Nah, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna step out.
Yep.
Ooh.
All right. Who wants to get in there? The handle right there and the step. Stay on the sandpaper part. There you go. You know what everything in here does? Facebook on that iPad right there.
This is so cool. We're here with the Girl Scout troop, and I decided to do a vlog. But your hand wasn't in at the beginning because you were fixing my hair. I'm getting petted.
Good Sky, good Sky.
Oh my goodness.
Right, you next. At a slower speed,
Okay.
and that way you can touch me. Because the plane will go through the air 100 miles an hour or more. Some of these bigger planes will go up to close to 200 miles an hour, but when you land, you don't want to be going 200 miles an hour, do you?
Not
You want to
particularly.
be going as slow as you can so you can control the airplane and not have a real long rollout. Once you land, you want to land and get stopped as soon as you can. Some runways are shorter than others, and Mansfield's very long. But Shelby's airport, for instance, is only 2,900 feet long.
Yeah.
Bye.
So,
Yeah.
anybody have any questions about it? What do you want to know?
I have a question.
Yes.
What's this?
That's a very good question. All right, let's look here. So at night, or when it's dusk and it's relatively dark out.
Is that a reflector?
These are my nav lights, kind of.
Oh, okay.
These are my nav lights. So this green light will be on, and from the pilot seat, this outline of it will be illuminated. So it'll let me know that the bulb's working. And there's one just like it on the other side. It's red. That's
Christmas colors! No.
Yep, red and green. Well, when all planes have got a green bulb on the right wing tip and a red bulb on the left wing tip, and so do boats. It's to recognize at night when it's dark out and all you can see is a red light and a green light. Depending on what side the green light's on, you'll be able to tell if the plane's coming towards you or away from you.
Yeah.
If you gotta pass it, where you can pass it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How do you, like, this is kind of, I don't know how to ask this, but like, how do you, is there like a light, like boats have SOS lights? Like, is there an SOS light on here?
Not really an SOS light. It's got a beacon on the tail up there. That one's an LED.
Okay.
It's red, and it's got a strobe on the belly.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to go underneath it to get on video, so.
No, you could probably see.
I probably could fit under there, not going to lie, but like.
Oh, I see it. You see that? See it hanging down there?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's the strobe. That's the strobe. And if you look up in the sky at night and you see an airplane, you'll see these nav lights, and you'll see blinking, should be blinking, and you'll also see strobes. Some of them have strobes on the wingtips as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. We should get Maddie and we should see if they can take us around a little bit for the vlog.
Are you guys interested in seeing the engine?
Yes.
Yeah?
Let's see the
It
engine.
doesn't have any fins on it, so
Yeah.
it's got radiator and it's got coolant, and the coolant circulates through tubes inside the engine, and it
Yeah.
gathers the heat and pulls it away.
So wait, so it goes through here, the air comes through here, through these, and then it keeps the engine cool.
It does.
I had to recap that because I wasn't filming when you said that.
So this little grill thing here keeps probably birds out.
Yeah, probably if you hit a bird.
Which real thing?
This thing.
Yes. Well, yep. This metal's just wearing through here. This is some of the fins. This is actually the cylinder right here.
Okay.
That is the cylinder.
That's cool.
Now over here on this side, I do have looks like a miniature little radiator, but that's an oil cooler. So the oil in my engine gets pumped through there, and the oil gets cooled. It helps keep the engine cool in the summer. In the wintertime, I've got a plate that I take these bolts out and I put this plate over top of that. Because in the wintertime, you want your engine to get up to a certain temperature
Yeah.
to get all the moisture out of it. And your engine won't get up to temperature in the winter if you don't, if you're using that cooler. So
Yeah.
you can also, I've seen guys that don't have the metal, they just take some duct tape and cover that, which does the same thing.
Which seems not very smart because duct tape isn't too,
It looks kind of
janky.
yeah, janky's the word I was looking for. It does. But it, it's the duct tape's not going anywhere. It's stuck on there pretty tight.
Yeah.
I've got some GoPro mounts around my plane. There's one on the wingtip over there. There's
Oh, that's where you do your filming and stuff, isn't it?
it is.
So there's one here.
On the tie down.
I see it.
There's one on the tail tie down.
Yeah, I see it.
There's one here. There's one here.
Yeah.
There's one on the ceiling.
So when did you start doing YouTube?
Oh, I started, man, it's been a long time ago, but I started
When YouTube
long
first
before I
came out.
started flying. What's that?
When YouTube first came out?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, I'm not calling you old. I'm just making a joke.
That's okay. I got thick skin. I don't care.
You don't look that old. Not even gonna lie.
Well, thanks.
No problem.
Anyways, I started YouTube probably, I don't know, before the year 2000, right around the year 2000 maybe.
Yeah. Before I was
and
born.
Before I had an airplane, I was just making stupid videos, and I don't think any of those are even visible on my channel anymore. I've made.
What kind of like stupid videos? Like.
I have no idea. The dog running around the house or something that nobody's interested in looking at.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pause.
Are those to help put drag on it?
These, you know what? Not exactly. These are called vortex generators. They're specific to my plane. I've seen other planes with vortex generators on them as well. But what they do, in a nutshell, let me back up a little bit. Whenever you ever hear of an airplane accident,
Yeah.
the FAA will probably come back and say it's a stall spin accident. Well, what do you think of when you hear stall?
Like.
That's not what happens.
Well, when I think of stall, I
But
think
that's
of
what
like
people think of.
stopping.
It's the engine stays running, but when the plane gets, this plane's got to be going a specific speed to generate enough lift to get off the ground and fly.
Yeah.
And once it falls below that speed, the stall is just a shortened version of aerodynamic stall. So the wing stops producing lift.
Oh.
When a plane gets slow, like on climb out especially, if you should have an engine issue there, you're already climbing rather slow. You're not building a speed because you're trying to gain altitude. If you get too slow, the wings will stop flying and the plane will fall off one side and go down. So you gotta watch your airspeed when you're climbing. But these vortex generators, when a wing stalls, it will typically stall at the root first, and then go out to the tip. So these kind of channel the air and make the air adhere to the wing more. It's called laminar flow. The air maintains a laminar flow over the wings. with these vortex generators. And you'll see some high wing airplanes, they'll have vortex generators, probably 20 of them across the top of each wing. And it allows that plane to fly below what its published stall speed is.
Oh, okay.
So it gives you more control at a slower speed. I mean, you still don't want to go and fly regularly below stall speed, but it lets you know that you can. You've got to be proficient at it. You can't just go out and fly slow without knowing.
Yeah.
So that's what these are. I've got 4 of these on the other side as well. I've got some tape around here.
You gotta get the coffee.
I gotta take the coffee. I gotta have that.
Take the coffee.
My coffee's over there still.
Okay. Now, this is a control surface. This is the aileron.
It says no push.
No, they don't want you pushing the plane from behind.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. But this, we can lift this up and down. You can see the yoke inside moving.
Yeah.
But when you're flying, what gives you lift is high pressure air on the bottom side of the wing, right? And lower pressure on top. So the high pressure air underneath the wing, when it gets back to this area here, this is a gap. It tends to shoot up through that gap, and you don't have any, what they call it, aileron authority. That you lose the ability to control the plane with the ailerons because the air's not coming across the top, it's shooting up through the bottom.
Yeah.
And it disrupts the airflow over the aileron. So this gap seal tape seals that gap and gives your ailerons authority at a lower speed. So
See, I'd be too scared to do this. I would feel like my anxiety would be like, oh my god, we're gonna crash.
it's not like driver's ed. It's not something you can really do in a couple weeks. It takes a long time, a lot of training, and you do stall training. You go up high, and the instructor will have you put the plane into a stall, and you have to recover. That's one thing they teach you when you're learning is stall recovery, because it's possible that anybody could get into a stall situation where the plane wants to stop flying, and as soon as it stops flying, it starts falling. So we go up high enough where when the plane has an aerodynamic stall and it starts falling, you've got time to recover. As soon as the nose goes down, okay, once you go into a stall, they tell you to recover, to push the nose down, and that will give you more airspeed again because you're going down, and it'll give the lift back to the wings.
Yeah.
So if you're up high enough, you can practice stalls. You don't want to practice stalls at 1,000 feet off the ground because you don't have enough time to recover. You'll lose sometimes, 800, 1,000 feet when you're practicing stalls.
These are cool. I like planes.
Now let's talk about stalls real quick one more time. Let's walk back around to this side. And Gail's plane has one of these too.
All right.
If you notice it when you walk back here. See this here?
Yep.
This is a stall warning device. So I've got a red light on my panel in there. And when the wing's going fast through the air, it's pretty flat. But the slower you go, you've got to increase the angle to stay airborne.
Yeah.
And once you get up to a certain angle, okay, the wind's coming from this way, but the wing's like this. So once you get up to a certain angle, the wind pushes this up from the bottom. Okay, if this tips up, the wind will hit that and flip it up, and the light comes on and tells me, hey, you're 5 miles an hour away from stall speed. And it lets me know in case I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
Gail's got one on her wing in the same spot. Other planes have got, Cessnas have a horn. So they've got an opening on the wing, and when you get into that certain angle, they call it an angle of attack, once you get into that certain angle of attack and beyond, the horn starts going off. And it's not a
dying
trombone.
animals.
Yeah, it sounds like a dying animal, exactly what it is. So that's just a safety thing.
Yeah.
It illuminates a light, a very bright light on my panel right in front of where I sit.
Hard to miss.
It's hard to miss.
It's just like, what's going on? Oh, there's a bright light. Oh, shoot.
Yep, I better get some speed going here.
Yep.
It's got 2 fuel tanks. They don't both feed together. I've got a lever in there where I have to switch from right tank to left tank.
Okay.
So when I'm flying, in order to keep the weight balanced, I'll start off if I'm on a long trip, I'll start off with flying 30 minutes on, let's say, this side.
Mm-hmm.
So this side's 30 minutes now, and that side's 30 minutes above it. So when I switch to the right side, I fly on the right side for an hour. It'll come down to where they'll equal after 30 minutes, and then I'm going to go 30 minutes below that. So I switch back to this side, and I go another hour.
Oh God,
So-
math. Kill me now. No.
What's that?
I said math. Kill me now.
Oh, well, you got to keep track of it.
I
You got
know.
to be really good at math doing flying.
Okay, not even gonna lie. The shadow looks like a cow.
Down here?
Right there. No, right
Oh,
there.
over there.
It looks like a cow.
Yep, it does.
Ears.
Yep, it's got some ears.
Oh, okay, I got some trivia for you. You've heard of runways that have got numbers on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know what those numbers mean? Think about the difference in the numbers. Okay, the runway that goes this way, the long one, has got 3-2 on this end and 1-4 on that end. What's the difference between those two numbers?
The difference between 1-2 is one, and the difference between 3-4 is 1.
No, I mean, okay, 34 and I'm sorry, 32 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
So subtract 14 from 34, what do you get? Or subtract 14 from 32, what do you get?
18.
18. Okay, the other one is 5 and 2 threes. Subtract 5 off of 2 3, what do you get?
5 off of 23, you mean?
Yes,
18.
that's 18 also. So think for a minute, a compass,
A compass. Okay.
okay? At the top of a compass, true north, or dead north is what? 360 degrees?
Yeah.
Okay. Straight south is
180
180 degrees. Okay. Due east is
degrees. What's after that?
90.
Thank you. I couldn't think.
And due west is
90? I don't know. 270. Okay. I don't know. I haven't done this in a
I'm
while.
teaching you. Okay. So the numbers on the runway is the magnetic compass heading of that. So if I come in to land on a 3-4, my compass is going to show 340 degrees. Drop the last digit.
I would have never guessed that.
Well, now you know something, and you can quiz your friend.
I'm gonna go over to Mr. Schrader and be like, "Do you know this?" And Mr. Schrader is my algebra teacher.
Yeah, ask him if he knows what those numbers mean. So they're on a runway, opposite numbers. They're always 180 degrees apart.
Oh, cool.
So this airport has got 2 strips of pavement, but technically it's 4 runways.
Yeah.
Because you can land from either direction and take off from either direction.
Yeah.
So there's some trivia.
So when we were driving over here, we were wondering, well, these two, or not these two, her and Mick. I forgot you weren't with us. I was like, these two, and I'm like, wait, you're not Mick. So Maddie and Mick were wondering, why are there so many planes? And I'm over here like, we're not going to an airport or anything. Well, Mick was. Well, Mick was wondering, why are there so many planes? I'm like, we're not going to an airport or anything. I mean, you're not going to see planes.
The guys that were over here, I saw when I came in and flew in this morning, there were 2 other planes in the traffic pattern that I had to share the traffic pattern.
Oh, goodness.
So, well, I was talking to the controller. He was keeping us separated.
It sounds like a lot of fun to be driving a plane or flying a plane, but I could never do it because my anxiety, like, I can't be in the front seat of a car.
But you have done it.
Yeah, when I was freaking 8 years old and didn't have anxiety.
And you weren't worried about anything.
I want to go into a plane.
They've
Like,
got-
be in a plane.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go see Gail now. Thank you, Randy.
You're welcome. See ya.
See ya.
Thank you.
Here, do you mind if you're in the
We're
vlog?
doing it already? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
Okay, so we are here with Gail.
Hi.
So she has 2 planes here. So we're gonna get into one. We can't get into the other because it's like vintage, but like we're gonna get into one and it's gonna be fun. So let's do this.
You were last time.
I was the pilot last. I already have a half of the vlog done with Randy over there, so
Oh, great,
I
okay.
came over here. Okay. Can only step on the black. I gotta remember that.
Good job.
And don't step on this. Okay. Fun. Okay, let's get our headsets on.
Yeah, if you Cleveland or something.
Okay.
What
We are
days
here.
did you go? Because Sunday and Monday they didn't fly. Were you there
What is that song? What?
That's good.
And then we go put your hand down, Sky. Put your hand down out from in front of the face. Thank you.
What is that song? what is that song where he's talking to ground control?
Major Tom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Major Tom. Have you Troop Zero watched the movie?
No.
It's on Amazon Prime.
No, I want to watch Elvis again though. That new movie.
He was good.
Austin Butler, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, they used Dacre Montgomery in that. I don't know what.
Okay. Let's hop out.
I think I hit 11 with my knee.
Okay. Okay.
We got a tie.
All right, Gail.
It's done at 11:30.
Gail. She thinks she hit one of these
I think
levers.
I hit that one right there with my
She's
knee.
not sure which one though.
No, this one.
Which one?
She's not sure if she did.
That one's okay. It's
Alright.
supposed to be like that. But thanks for telling me.
Yep.
I just didn't want to.
You don't want to open the paper and read that I crashed and burned.
No. That would be bad. Okay. Okay, let's. Okay. This is fun. I like these planes. They're really cool. For what was it? Junior? Is it called Junior or Young Eagle?
Young Eagle.
So for Young Eagles, in Galleon, I think is where we went. Me and my twin brother, he was in the back and I was in the front as a co-pilot. It was super fun.
Nice.
I got to hold the yoke and stuff. It was cool.
Good. All right, now do I have to talk to you?
I mean, you can
Answer
give us some
questions?
facts and stuff like about the
What facts
planes.
would you like to know? Just facts about the plane?
Plane that works.
All right, this is a 1976 Beechcraft
Mm-hmm.
Bonanza. It's a V35B as in Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Holds 4 people. It's 300 horsepower.
Oh, that's cool. 300 horsepower. That's cool.
IO 550 engine. So you can flight plan it for 160 knots, which is roughly 180 miles an hour.
That's cool. Don't boats go by knots too?
Yes, they do.
So boats and aircrafts go by knots. Okay. And then I read this on the paper that we got, but the N on the number, that means America or U.S., right?
Exactly. That's very good.
Okay.
Right. If you go to Canada, they're probably going to mostly be all letters.
Okay. So I did mine because I saw N and it said November, and I'm like, is that N as in November or N like we can pick a letter? So I put D at first because my birth month is December, but then it said N as in like America. That's where we are, like the code, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I have to put N.
Now, let me show you something else. See this Skywing? It has NC on the tail. And that's just because it was from the 40s.
Oh, okay.
So no airplanes, newer ones have NC. They all have N.
Okay. Cool.
How high can you fly?
That's a really good question. Without oxygen, I wouldn't go much more than 12,000 feet. In fact, I wouldn't even do 12,000 feet for more than a half an hour to an hour. And then if you have oxygen, this could maybe go up to 16,000 feet. But then you get sleepy, tired, and you know.
Yeah.
So
what's the
I
difference?
usually cruise if I'm going, and this is an interesting fact. If you're going west, you're going at an even altitude. So let's say I would be 8,000 feet going west, and then if I turn around and come home, I'd be going east. You go at an odd altitude, so that would
Yeah.
be 9,000 feet.
Oh, cool. So what's the difference between, I know the difference between commercial airplanes and these airplanes. Commercial are obviously more advanced, but like how can commercial airplanes go so high above the clouds and these not?
Because they are pressurized. This cabin is not pressurized, and pressurized means that they keep the cabin altitude at a similar altitude from where you are. I think actually it's at most of them, even if they go to 40,000 feet, the cabin altitude is at 8,000 feet.
Oh.
So you would feel like you were in the mountains of Denver.
Okay. And that, like, if they go any higher and the air pressure drops, that's why they have those bags and stuff.
Well, that's if the plane depressurizes. That's
Yeah.
why we call it the rubber, but it's the face mask.
Yeah.
I was recently on a flight. I have a very good friend who's a United pilot. And I said, I've never flown with you. And he said, well, you and your husband come and I'll take you to Hawaii.
Oh, cool.
So we met him in Denver, and we had a ball. We were up in the front. We were hanging out of the windows, taking pictures. And,
Hanging out of windows.
well, the pilot's windows on the ground, and then his co-pilot was on the ground taking pictures of us. I can show you. I got him somewhere.
Yeah.
And then so we took off and got to altitude to about 36,000 feet. And my son had put his GoPro in the cockpit
That's cool.
because he wanted to record what was going on. And the plane depressurized. So you don't, as a pilot, you don't even think about it. You immediately put your oxygen mask on.
Yeah.
He was doing a check ride. He was trying to make the guy in the left seat current in that aircraft. And so my friend took over and immediately turned around because what you want to do, he wanted to go back to Denver. We'd only made it just to Utah. But the important thing is he was descending rapidly because he wanted to get under 14,000 feet so we could all breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, we could all breathe then because it was not a partial, it was just a partial. But all the flight attendants ran over to me because he announced when we were leaving that I was Amelia Earhart. He's just, you got to know him, he's crazy. And so they all ran over and they said, Gail, what's going on? And I said, I think we're probably, I have depressurized. And the screens, if any of you have been on airplanes, it shows Denver to where you're going.
Yeah.
So it said Denver Kona in Hawaii. It changed from Denver to Denver. So we all knew we were going back.
Yeah. I had a question, now I can't remember it.
Well, that's because I talked too long.
I talk a lot too, it's fine. I think it was about Amelia Earhart or something. I'll remember it. But what is that aircraft for over there?
It's a Buell prop, and that was an Army observation plane.
Do you ever take it on like joy rides just to go?
Oh yeah, I bet they do that all the
What we
time.
used to do was really fun, but you can't do it nowadays because it's not politically correct. We fill little lunch bags, brown paper bags with flour, and we bomb our friends.
Yes, that's
Now
awesome.
people would think that's anthrax and they'd freak out.
Well, now because all of the actual bombs that drop, you can't do that. It'll scare people. Okay. So we're ready to wrap up.
All right, there's Beanie. There's my buddy,
Oh, cool. Which one? Him?
the pilot.
The pilot,
guy with
cool.
That was at Denver.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go put our stuff in the car and we're gonna hang out with Randy and Gail for a little bit. So let's go do that. So I'm back with Maddie, Gail, and Randy, and we're gonna find out how they learned how to fly. So let's start with Randy. Okay. So
How I learned how to fly. Let's see. I had a friend who had a plane, and I flew with him for quite a few years. And he'd let me fly when we were up, and I enjoyed that. And I told him one time, I said I'd really like to learn how to do this someday. So after we got on the ground, he gave me a guy's card as instructor.
do you remember who the guy was?
The guy's name was Bart Anatra. You know Bart? No. Okay, his name's Bart. He said, call this guy, ask to tell him you want to take a lesson. So I did. He says, keep calling him and take lessons until you don't like it anymore.
Or until you get part.
Or until you get a license. And I've not stopped liking it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun, but as I said earlier, my anxiety, I'd be like, every time something made a noise, I'd be like, oh no, just pacing as I'm sitting down, like, oh my god.
You just need to go back up again
Yeah.
on a nice, smooth morning. Right, Gail? That's the best time to fly.
Or late in
Late in the evening, right before dusk.
after dinner.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
It sounds really calming, like being up there with like just there, it sounds very, very calming. Like,
Pretty up in the
it would be
sky
really
with,
pretty too, yeah.
And you can take a picture of like,
Yeah.
the sunset.
As I'm driving, picture.
in the morning and evening, if you're flying, it seems like you're sitting still because you look down, and if you're high enough, the ground's barely moving.
Yeah.
And you would swear that you're just floating.
Yeah. It sounds really cool. Like, I feel like I would love to be Peter Pan almost because like he would just fly and just chill in the air, and I'd be like, that'd be so much fun. Like, I love being in the air in commercial
She's
airplanes when I'm safe and I know I'm not
She's
gonna fall.
recording.
Yeah.
But like I look out the window, I'm like, that is so pretty. It feels like we're floating. It's awesome.
You'd be just as safe in one of these.
Yep. It's really cool. Oh, your turn. Yeah.
Okay. I was 15 years old, and I took my first lesson in
So you
galleon.
were my age. I'm 14 and a half now, but you were 15 when you first.
I was actually your age once. I really was.
I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just saying you were my age. I thought you were being like exaggerating when you said that, but you know.
And I got airsick the first time I took a lesson because it was like 95 degrees, no air conditioning. And then the second time, and so I had to get Dramamine to learn to fly. And then after that, hasn't been an issue. But so I think I actually got my license when I was 19. Got my helicopter rating probably when I was 21.
So
Something like
you
that.
were like you were just barely legal when, or of legal age when you started flying planes? Like with
You
a
can be
license?
any age and learn to fly. You can't solo until your 16th birthday.
Yeah. I saw in like Africa, like a place in Africa, they're teaching young girls how to work on planes and how to fly like aviation. And I thought that was super cool because in Africa and all of those like middle world countries, they're just like, they don't have a lot of money there. So these girls that want to be aviation people, you know, they can do it because they have the school that's sponsored by, I think, UNICEF. So I think that was
Sounds good.
really cool. I would love to go to Africa just to see that and take a class there for like a video or something. But that's not like a really expensive ride or plane ride too.
That would be.
It'd probably be expensive.
But what is your favorite thing about flying? Either of you?
The next flight is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about it is sharing it with other people who I know don't have access to it.
Yeah.
I love doing Young Eagles. I like taking people who've rarely flown or never flown.
Yeah.
I took, let's see, my kindergarten teacher for a plane ride to Delaware last week. She
That's
was
cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how old she is because she's Shelby, but she went with me. She said, "Don't tell anybody how old I am."
Was it Miss Corns?
Huh?
Was it Miss Corns?
No.
Dang it!
Oh, she sent me a text message the night before. She goes, I hope you don't mind hanging out with an old lady. And I texted her back. I said, "Are you bringing your grandma?"
Oh, that was good.
That's sweet.
Oh.
See, I can't, like, as a joke, I would call her old, but like you would not believe how old she is. Wait, just take a guess, take a hit at how old she is.
I'm not getting in that.
we learned that early on.
Yep.
You don't do that.
No.
No, you're.
I'm gonna
She's 21.
she's
Leave her
21
alone.
years old. No, I'm gonna expose you. She's 64.
Yeah.
No, she's 21. Sky.
She looks so good for her age, which is amazing because she takes care of herself. I look, as she said, I look older than I am. You said I look like 27, or a midget.
And you're how old?
I'm 14.
14.
Yeah. The oldest I've been called is probably 27. That was today. I think the oldest I've been called prior today is 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's nice to know
Everyone
that I look
says
old.
I look 16 in the face and
Yeah.
I look like 12 in my body.
Yeah. Her doctor, which doctor was it? What's his name? That looked like a 12-year-old who was this big around?
Dr. Doss.
Yeah, Dr. Doc. I met him when I was really little when she first started going to see him, and he was literally this big around, I swear. He was so tiny, and he was Indian. He was Indian, so he looked really nice, but he looked like he was 12 years old, and he gave me chocolate.
He was a doctor?
Yeah, he was a doctor.
He actually retired.
Did
Yeah.
he really?
Yeah, he just retired 2
Wow.
months ago.
Okay, so we had so much fun today with Gail and Randy at the hangar here in Mansfield. But I gotta close up because we gotta go home and eat because we're all hungry. So I will post this on my Instagram, and I will see y'all later.